More on this. Let's bring in Doug Holtz-Eakin, president of American Action Forum and former director of the CBO. Doug, great to see you today. Want to ask you about all of this. You know, Americans are paying record high prices for gas, high prices for food. You wonder really what is going right for the Biden administration. But if you listen to the president and some members of his administration, you might think that things are going rosy. Now, they did have a good jobs report today, so that plays into this. But I want to play a soundbite now from Brian Deese. He is the director of the National Economic Council. Let's listen to him.
We reached an important milestone today, which is the American private sector has now recovered all of the jobs that were lost during the pandemic. We've got more people working today than ever in the history of the American economy. And as you say, that fast job recovery is not just good for the millions of people who have better jobs with higher wages.
More people working today in the history of the American economy. How could that be? There are staffing shortages at airlines, restaurants, pretty much everywhere you go. We know there are 2 jobs out there for every 1 person. So how is what he is saying, how does that make any sense?
Well, it's interesting. Today's jobs report really is a Rorschach test for how you think about the economy. If you're looking for good news, like the White House, you point to the top line, job growth pretty big, a record low for the U6, a measure of underemployment of workers, and moderating wage growth, so less inflationary pressures. But if you look inside this same report, you're going to find that the labor force participation rate dropped another 0.2%, and the labor force fell by 300,000 people. Fewer people are out there to be available to work. And we're also seeing that employment as measured by the household survey fell by 300,000. So we still have this enormous gap between the demand for labor and those available to work, and that's leading to real shortages across the economy. So I think it's important to remember when you step back and listen to all this talk about how great the job market is, that great job market is the flip side of 8.6% inflation. You don't get 8.6 inflation unless you overstimulate the economy. They did. They want to claim that that's a good thing when the jobs numbers come out, but every day people are paying really as much as 11.1% more every year for food, shelter, and energy. And so that's the day-to-day problem. Once a month you hear that some people got hired. I'm not sure that adds up.
Well, Doug, here on Jobs Day, unfortunately, we're running out of time here. Thanks very much for joining us this hour. You know, important day as we look forward to where we go from here. Remember, jobs are a lagging indicator, so really good discussion on where we're going to head in the economy here and if the U.S. can avoid a recession. Doug, thanks very much.
Yeah, great to see you, Doug.